Hi everyone, it's Mrs. Childress and this is Nursing Class 101. So today's topics is going to be talking about support groups here in Spring Hill, Florida, and rights of patients that you should know for when you're in the hospital. Okay, so I'll start off with the support groups. NAMI Hernando, National Alliance on Mental Illness. You are not alone. We offer our support groups in person and virtually via https://zoom.us/ Connection Support Group for persons living with the mental health or substance use challenges. Monday, virtual group at 7 p.m. Meeting ID number 936-2221 4889. Password 813714. Wednesday, in person at 3 p.m. Friday, in person at 7 p.m. Grief support. Individuals helping each other cope with the grief from a loss. In this group, individuals come together to share their collective experiences, find resources, and discover hope. Monday, in person at 7 p.m. Family support group for family friends of an adult living with mental health and or substance use challenges. Wednesday in person at 3 p.m. Family Links support group. Parents and caregivers of youth living with the mental health or substance use challenges. Saturday virtual at 9 a.m. Meeting ID number 957-4718-6237. Teen Talk Youth Support Group for teen individuals aged 13 to 17 living with a mental health illness or living with a family member with mental health illness. Tuesday, in person at 6:30 p.m. You can join our in-person support groups at this address: NAMI Hernando, 4030 Commercial Way, Spring Hill, Florida 34606. Call us at 352-684-0004 for more information. And the suicide hotline number is that you dial is 988. Okay, and now rights of persons at Springbrook Hospital here in Spring Hill. Rights of patients. The following rights are guaranteed to you under Florida law. These will be fully explained to you at the time and following of admission to this facility. A copy of these rights will be given to you to keep. You have the right to read the Baker Act law and rules at any time. Number 1, individual dignity. You have the right to individual dignity and access to all constitutional rights. The Federal Americans with Disability Act's ADA applies to persons in this facility. You have the right to be spoken to with respect, and it is your right to feel comfortable asking for assistance or reporting issues. Number 2, right to respect discharge by voluntary patients. If you request discharge, your doctor will be notified and you will be discharged within 24 hours from a designated receiving facility and within 3 days, not including weekends and holidays, from a designated treatment facility, unless you withdraw your request or you meet the criteria for involuntary placement. If you meet the criteria for involuntary placement, the hospital administrator must file a petition with the court for your continued stay within 2 working days of your request for discharge. Number 3, designation of representative. You will be asked to identify a person to be notified in case of an emergency. Further, if you are at this facility for involuntary examination and do not have a guardian appointed by the court, you will be asked to designate a person of your choice to receive notification of your presence in this facility unless you request that no notification be made. If you do not or cannot designate a representative will be selected for you by this facility from a prioritized list of persons. You have the right to be consulted about the person selected by the facility, and you can request that such a representative be replaced. Number 4, confidentiality of information and records. Information about your stay at this facility is confidential and may not be released, except under special circumstances, without your consent, or the consent of your guardian or guardian advocate if you have one. Special circumstances include release of information to your attorney in response to a court order. to an aftercare treatment provider or after a threat of harm to another person. See special limitation of confidentiality below. You have the right of reasonable access to your clinical record unless such access is determined to be harmful to you by your physician. Number 5, limitation of confidentiality. There are statutory and ethical limitations to confidentiality of patient communications. These limitations covered below will result in a mandatory reporting to the appropriate persons or agencies. Letter A. Abuse. If a patient shares they have committed abuse or on a minor child or persons who are disabled or unable to ensure their own safety, this information must be reported to law enforcement and the Department of Children and Families. Letter B. Threat of violence towards others. If a patient shares they are in danger to another, the person threatens must be notified as well as law enforcement authorities. Letter C. Threat of violence towards self. In the event a patient shares intent to self-harm, this information will be shared with appropriate treatment staff and can result in the conversion to involuntary status. Number 6, treatment. You have the right to receive the least restrictive available appropriate treatment in this facility. You will get a physical examination within 24 hours of arrival and you will be asked to help develop a treatment plan to meet your individual needs. The criteria, procedures, and required staff training used by these facilities for restraint, seclusion, isolation, emergency treatment orders, and close levels of supervision or physical management are available for your review. Such interventions may never be used for punishment, convenience, or staff to compensate for inadequate staffing. Number 7, uh, informed consent. Before any treatment is given to you, you will be given information about the proposed treatment, the purpose of the treatment, the common side effects, alternative treatments, the approximate length of care, and any consent given may be revoked at any time by you, your guardian, or your guardian advocate. If the treatment for which you have given consent is changed at any time during your stay in this facility, it will be fully explained by the staff prior to asking you for your written consent to the revised treatment. Number 8, clothing and personal effects. You have the right to keep your clothing and personal effects unless they are removed for safety or medical reasons. If they are taken from you, an inventory of the possessions will be prepared and given to you to sign. The possessions will be immediately returned to you and your representative upon your discharge or transfer from this facility. Number 9, communication. You have the right to communicate freely and privately by phone, mail, or visitation with persons of your choice during your stay at this facility. You have the right to make free local calls and will be given access to a long distance service for collect calls. If communication is restricted, you will be given a written notice including the reasons for the restrictions. This facility is required to develop reasonable rules governing visitors, visiting hours, and the use of telephone, but you cannot be limited in your access to your attorney, to a phone for the purpose of reporting abuse, in contacting the Human Rights Advocacy Committee or the Advocacy Center for Persons with Disabilities. Several toll-free telephone numbers you may wish to keep are 1-800-96-ABUSE or 1-800-342-9152, 1-800-342-0825, 1-800-342-0823. If you have a complaint against the hospital, call the Consumer Assistance Unit, 1-888-419-3456, press 1, or write to the address below, Agency for Healthcare Administration. And that's all for this class today. I hope everybody got the information that they needed, and have a great day. Bye.